Welcome back to the bench. Today we have an assortment of cheap LED lights from the local Euroshop here. We don't have pound shops, we have Euroshops. So same thing, just a bit cheaper with the exchange rate. So we have one here that's a keychain version. It has 2, 4, 6 LED cob chips, and it has 2 brightness settings and a flashing mode. So obviously it's got to have some kind of chip in there to control that, which we can take a look at. It also has a magnet in there so you can attach it to things. Next we have is a key-shaped keyring type. Again, this also has 6 LEDs and also the same 2 brightness settings and a flash setting. This one is a wristband. Pull the sticker off. It says China. Little switch under here, and then this is just on our flashing. This is a little stick-on light, which is designed for maybe to put into a cupboard or other place. And this one is actually a touch sensor. You turn it on, turn it off. It's just simple on-off. I don't think it does anything fancy like dimming or anything. Or maybe it does. Oh, it does. That is actually still on, but very dim. Yeah, so you can actually set the dimming level. Okay, press and hold. Quite interesting. But the one that's interesting for me is this one. If you look, it is very, very thin. Has on off there. And then 4 LEDs there, 2 batteries, and some genuine 3M tape. And what this is designed for is to be attached to the bottom of a bottle, like an old wine bottle. When you press it on, you get red LEDs. Turn it off, again, green. And you keep turning it off and on, and it selects different colours. It cycles through the same colours. Magenta, and then it's kind of white. And then on the last one, it puts it into a colour changing mode, which is quite fancy. So let's take them apart, see what's in them. I want to do this one first because this is the most interesting one. Okay, so we pull this off, the sticker off. Obviously we don't have to do too much dismantling on this one because it's just a board. So this is just actually a circuit board. The rest of this is just tape. And then if we pull this off, we can see there that we just got a dome click button and there's nothing on the other side. So I don't want to destroy it, but let's see if we can find out what this chip is. Are there any markings on it? No. Sadly not. It is completely void of any markings. So, I mean, this is going to be some kind of microcontroller. Unless these LEDs are got something in them that colour changes them, but I suspect that they are being controlled by the microcontroller. So it's really hard to see the traces on these because on this board because it's white. But so let's move on. Let's do this one. It's got some tape on the back. Will you come off easy? Okay. So we have the battery compartment. Oops, battery stuck to the magnet. So yeah, there's 2 CR2032s. And I don't see any screws in here to try and take it apart, so we might have to get a little medieval on it. Maybe it's just clipped together. This is where a spudger would help. So let's see if we can get in there. There we go. It's nice and easy. So yeah, well, that's quite a neat design. You have the battery contacts coming through there, and then they use the PCB to actually make contact with that. Okay, take that out. So yeah, it's just literally a little aluminium backed circuit board with the cobs on, and a little 6-pin chip. Now, is this going to be an enormous chip, or will it be part number on there? There is a part number on it, but it is very, very small writing. 281G. So I can try and look that up, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be much information down there. It's obviously some kind of little micro, maybe a PDUC. I'm guessing these other devices will have a similar type in. This one seems to be a bit more to the construction. It's got the screws in there for the battery holder, so let's whip them out. And again, yeah, it just looks like a couple of CR 2032s. Yep. Okay. Very cheap chintzy metal for the battery holder there. So we can get that out. And then, yeah, then this just slides out. Again, we've got an aluminium backed. Oh, and the wire just fell off. Aluminium backed circuit board. We've got the button, which is actually a tack switch. Okay, surface mount tack switch, so that's actually quite good. And then again, a little tiny chip. This one's more readable, it's more legible. It is a YN690. And then underneath it's got 1918. Quite a bit of flux residue on there. So yeah, we can solder that back on later. So yeah, that's quite a nice little, neat little board. I mean, for the cost of €1, you can salvage the parts off of here. It's probably, yeah, just if you need a little battery holder, just solder the wires on, use it as a battery holder. Okay, let's do this wristband one. It is transparent, but I can see, it looks like it's got a blob rather than an actual chip. So let's pop the battery first. And this has got a smaller battery in. Although it looks like the battery slides in from the side, so how do you get the battery in and out? I don't think they quite figured out the construction on this thing. Just try some more drive. That one's a little bit too big for these screws. Now, that's better. That's just turning and turning and turning. I don't think these screws are actually into anything. I think they've been, yeah, the plastic is broken here. So yeah, not very well constructed. Looks like they tightened the screws up too much. Okay, so yeah, it's just literally one little cob LED and then two little 3mm LEDs. So you could actually mod this and put in a couple of different colors. Maybe put in a blue and a green, which would obviously then make that light up a little fancier. We can try doing that. Flash mode and off. So this is an interesting one as well because it has the dimming function. So, yeah, 3 different battery types. They say don't mix battery types, so I mixed battery types. Sue me. This one is interesting because it's obviously a touch sensor as well as dimmable. That's it. Okay, so there's our touch sensor. It looks like the wire got trapped when it was being assembled. That's our white plastic comes out. Oh, and the board's heat staked on there, so that's not going to be easy to get out, or it's going to be destructive. So let's see if we can just look at that. One moment. Okay, and again, the little 6-pin chip in there has absolutely no markings on it. So we've got the chip, we've got a couple of capacitors, transistor, diode, 0 link resistors, so nothing special. There goes a screw. There goes another screw. It's got a screw loose. So yeah, you can just see here, there is just a piece of copper tape that's been stuck to the side after it's had the wire soldered onto there. Let's put the batteries in and just have a look what it looks like with out the cover on. Okay. Did I break it? Yeah, even the red and the blue wires, they've all been trapped in there. Maybe I put the battery in the wrong way. No, that one's the right way. Maybe it's just what's in the wrong way. Yep. Okay. So that's our full brightness, and yes, that is pretty bright. If you're looking directly at it with your eyes, it's yeah, quite bright. Okay, now it's dimming down. So it actually does dim down to quite a low level. And then it remembers the brightness level you set it to, which is good. So yeah, I think it's a bit of a bad design, because obviously once this goes on, it comes down and that is crushing. So I think it just needs a little slot cutting in to the side here just to let the wires go through without being crushed. Yeah, so we just put that in here. Yeah, and then that just sits inside. So yeah, not a lot of room for the wires. So, but this is still obviously my favourite with the different colour changes. You can see after the colour change mode, we're back onto the red colour, and then yeah, it'll just keep cycling through all the different colours. So you come to the colour change mode, and then back to red. So the only disadvantage of that is if you want to change the colour, you have to go through all the cycles to get there. So not sure how long that dome tack switch would last. But yeah, this is definitely the most interesting one. I'm just curious to see if there's any. No, doesn't look like it's just a single-sided board. So that was a quick look at 5 cheap LED lights from the Euroshop. So as always, if you like my content, then please consider hitting that subscribe button, and if you would like to get notified of future releases, then you can ring my bell. As always, thank you for watching.